Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, everyone. My name is Andy McFadden, and I'm the Executive Director of Strategic Communications here at WSU Tech, and I'm so over the moon happy that you could all join us today for our Healthcare Future Ready Center and ARPA grant community update. If I could have everyone move as close as we can a little bit, I want everyone to be able to hear really well in the back. Move forward. Great. So in just a moment, you're going to hear from a few of our great partners on this project. You're going to hear from Mayor Brandon Whipple, the mayor of City of Wichita. You will hear from Dr. Sherry Utash, the president of WSU Tech. You'll also hear from Dr. Alicia Thompson, superintendent of Wichita Public Schools, and also Scott Evans, community engagement manager for Wesley Healthcare. Earlier this year, the City of Wichita approved ARPA funding opportunities for workforce hiring and training. WSU Tech was fortunate to be one of those 14 organizations to receive a total of $6.3 million to help retrain and retain those workers in needed fields impacted by the pandemic. Of this $6.3 million received, nearly $2.1 million was approved to fund the purchase of new equipment, supplies, and to develop the Future Ready Centers, all aimed at increasing the number of students pursuing healthcare careers in the city. If you'll look down to your right down the hallway here, we have a tenant currently on the south wall who is growing rapidly. So they're going to be rearranging their activities to another location. And we're excited to announce that we will have that space for our Healthcare Future Ready Center in partnership with Wichita Public Schools, Wesley Healthcare, and funded by the City of Wichita. Today, we're going to hear remarks from project partners as we're excited to share the next steps in the process of renovation and also celebrate our amazing students here. You'll see some of them in these really cool Healthcare I'm Future Ready Are You t-shirts. They're current Wichita Public School students who have started healthcare training this fall in programs like EKG. We have CNA students, we have patient care technician students, lots of engaged students on campus already taking programming while they're in high school in Wichita Public Schools. First off, I'd like to invite our first guest to the podium, Mayor Brandon Whipple, Mayor of the City of Wichita.
Thank you, and I appreciate being here for a couple reasons. One, it's always great to talk about some of the incredible things happening in Wichita, so I thank you for that. But also, thanks for getting me out of the office. A lot of times we wind up getting buried in email, and anyways, it's good to be out and about and to be actually seeing the results of some of the decisions that we were able to make as a council. So as mayor of the city of Wichita, I am so excited to hear about the expansion of the Future Ready Centers for healthcare projects like this that are an example of our unique all hands on deck approach to economic development here in Wichita. This type of consistent collaboration between the government, the private sector, and education sectors sets us apart from other cities that we are competing against for new economic investments and for jobs. The city of Wichita and our partners like WSU Tech are dedicated to making sure that we are ready not just for the economy of today, but also for that next economy, an economy of tomorrow. So as a mayor, it's my job to brag about the city of Wichita, and whenever I get a chance, I do. So I want to thank folks for today because this is making my job just a little bit easier. Now we get to talk about not just the incredible workforce and talent that we have here, but also about how we're investing in that next talent. The city of Wichita was one of the only cities, if not the only city that at least I know of, in the entire state that once we got money from the federal government from the American Rescue Plan, we actually created a plan to put that back into workforce development and job training. And thanks to our partners at WSU Tech, the Future Ready Centers for Healthcare will serve as a centralized location to educate our high school students in Wichita Public Schools for future careers in healthcare. As we all know, that is one of the top growing sectors, according to forecasts, in our near future. So as mayor, it's especially important to me that when we talk about attracting and retaining talent in Wichita, we're not just focused on attracting talent from outside of Wichita, because we know that we have great people and great talent right here in Wichita. And the purpose of this is to invest in that talent, to invest in our neighbors and into that next generation of leaders. The Future Ready Centers will allow our students to train for and start their careers right here in Wichita. This training will help our community fill the need for more healthcare workers without students having to take on additional college debt. So again, thank you so much for having me here today, and congratulations to the team at WSU Tech for all you do and for getting this program off the ground. And of course, congratulations to our Wichita Public Schools, who are also making sure that we can do this in a way that actually maximizes these resources. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Whipple. I'd like to invite to the stage next Dr. Sherry Utash, President of WSU Tech.
Well, thank you, Andy, and thank you, Mayor Whipple, and everyone that's here today joining us, and especially the students in the gold t-shirts that I've gone around and met from, and I might miss somebody, so if I miss your high school, you yell it out. Let's see, I have North, we have Heights, we have West, we have Capon, we have Bishop Carroll, we have, did I miss somebody? East. Do we have any Southeast? Okay, I'm a Golden Buffalo. Come on now, really? No Southeast? I'm a proud graduate. Anyway, I really thank you because today is all about you. It's all about the future of building a talent pipeline in healthcare. So what we're doing today is for you. So thank you for being here. I'm really excited to share with you the plans for the new Future Ready Center in Healthcare. In the beginning, when we set out to develop this, we had 3 goals in mind. The first one was to create a sustainable talent pipeline for our healthcare system by inspiring our youth to explore career fields in healthcare. Number 2 was to provide the best education with state-of-the-art facilities, along with applied learning opportunities for all these students. And third was to collaborate with industry and community partners. And so it is, it's just a real joy and pleasure to see this coming to life. With these goals in mind, and a big thank you to the City of Wichita and all of the City Council members for the dollars of the funding of the ARPA grant, because we could not have done that without them. But what this will do is it will centralize this location to educate high school students attending Wichita Public Schools and within the Wichita community on all potential healthcare careers. So WSU Tech and Wichita Public Schools, USD 259, we will be renovating some space right down the hallway, like Andy said, that's being vacated by the Sedgwick County Department of Corrections and Juvenile Field Services. And it is 16,000 square feet of renovated space that will include state-of-the-art equipment and technology, true to the goal that we had in the beginning. And the renovations for that Future Ready Center begin this fall and will be finished by next summer. And so be ready to receive an invitation for a ribbon cutting for that very same thing coming up next summer. So right now we have these students that are here. They are being taught in temporary facilities here at WSU Tech for healthcare. And they're on the campus, and it's exciting that they're here. And I just would like to just take a moment, because it's really all about them, and celebrate them. So. These wonderful young people are studying in programs CNA, that's Certified Nurses Aid, CMA, Certified Med Aid, EMT, Emergency Medical Management. Now you tell me I'm gonna have a test after this, right? Because I just have all the acronyms. EKG, I think we all know that's like the heart testing. Phlebotomy, medical terminology, diseases, disorders, and diagnostic procedures, and HHA, which is home health aid. They are all exploring those career fields. And next fall, we will expand into a pre-professional, pre-med program at this facility. And in the spring of 24, we'll be adding pre-vet. So why was this important? And why is a Future Ready Center for Healthcare important? And why did we do it? Well, we all went through COVID, right? And we understand the pandemic really highlighted for us, number one, the essential workers of healthcare and how incredibly important they are to the fabric and well-being of our community. And we also realized it highlighted a shortage of healthcare workers. There are currently over 1,000 job openings in healthcare jobs across the metropolitan region. So I feel quite confident that all of you students are going to have a very, very well-paying career in the healthcare field. We know that the demand in Wichita is really exacerbated by many local healthcare workers that have taken other jobs. And we also know that it's really our responsibility and privilege for Dr. Thompson and for WSU Tech to create this pipeline of students and graduate them where they can be part of the healthcare system and benefiting the City of Wichita and its citizens and working for people like Scott Evans at Wesley Hospital. So the other thing this is important for is this. Who wants to have student loan debt? You students in these go, do any of you want to have student loan debt? No. Well, that's why this is important too. Because with the Future Ready Centers, we want to really convey this message to parents and emphasize the importance of something called Excel in Career Technical Education. That was a legislative law that was created by the state of Kansas. And it's very, very forward thinking of them. And we owe them a huge debt for doing this and to continue funding this. But what that means is these young people can start in a career when they're juniors in high school in healthcare, and their coursework is being paid for by the state of Kansas. Therefore, they're not incurring any student loan debt. They can graduate from high school. They can walk across that stage and shake hands with Dr. Thompson one night. The next night they can come across the stage at WSU Tech and shake hands with me with their technical certificate or their applied science degree and be work ready. No student loan debt. Is that a deal? That's a deal. So before I close, I just really want to thank my friend and colleague, Dr. Thompson, Kelly Bellafield, and the entire CTE team at USD 259. I want to thank Scott Evans and Wesley Healthcare for all the things that they have done to be a partner in this. We're looking forward to continuing to grow that partnership. I want to thank Mayor Whipple and all the members of the City Council for believing in our project and scoring us so high that we got funded. And then finally, just a very special thanks to the WSU Tech High School team that I have here, all my high school team that's here. Thank you. Thanks to all the faculty, and thanks to our Stratcom communications team for everything they've done. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Utash. Next, I'd like to invite to the podium Dr. Alicia Thompson, Superintendent of Wichita Public Schools. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I'm going to look at you and you're smiling at me. Hey, I am WPS proud of our students. Let's give them another round of applause. This is why we do what we do. It's because of you, each one of you, the work that we do. I am Alicia Thompson, and I'm the WPS proud superintendent of the Wichita Public Schools. And I remember moving into this job about 5 years ago, and some of the first people that I met was from WSU Tech in the form of Dr. Sherry Utash. And the two of us began to dream and believe, and we are starting to see the fruits of some of our labor and the conversations that we had. We talked about you all and the dreams we had for you of being able to walk across the stage as a Wichita Public School graduate, and then moving into a space where you were able to walk across the stage with your certificate and then have credentials and tools that you can take with you to leave there free of charge and be able to make a living for yourself and be a productive citizen right here in the city of Wichita. And these Future Ready Centers will allow us to be able to do that. So we still are pushing hard and we still have work to do, but we are starting to realize some of the things that we dreamed about. The Future Ready Center for Healthcare represents a partnership between the Wichita Public Schools, WSU Tech, the industry partners like Wesley Medical Centers, who we are here today to celebrate with. This is our second Future Ready Center with WSU Tech, and I am super excited to see where this partnership continues to take us for our kids. Every chance I get, it is my goal to remind our community that your future sits in our classrooms today. We graduate more than 2,600 students per year, many of whom will be your healthcare partners in the future. While our students are in high school, they will attend college at WSU Tech. WPS students in our high school classrooms today are able to complete the CNA, phlebotomy, EKG, and EMT classes and earn credentials, which in turn earns them employment opportunities immediately after graduation. The choices and career fields will continue to grow as this new center comes online fully as we continue to respond to the workforce needs in our city. We are grateful to our partners at WSU Tech who have shared our vision for the pre-K through 16 education, and to Wesley Medical Center for supporting the dreams and goals of our young people. We also want to express thanks to the City of Wichita for investing in this workforce development initiatives through your ARPA funds. The Future Ready Center for Healthcare is truly a community collaboration, and I am very excited to see how this project develops and supports students in the Wichita Public Schools. Again, I am so very proud of you students. WPS proud.
Thank you, Dr. Thompson. Next up, I'd like to invite to the podium Scott Evans. He's the Community Engagement Manager for Wesley Healthcare.
Thank you, Andy. Community Engagement Manager, it's not president, it's not superintendent, it's not mayor. My job is to identify what needs there are in the community, where Wesley can help and find ways to partner with each other to make things happen. And this is an example of that. I love seeing all of the high school students everywhere. You guys are amazing. I love what you're doing, and I love these opportunities that are being provided to you. I want to thank WSU Tech and USD 259 for your partnership, for your leadership, collaboration, and innovation. I want to thank the City of Wichita again for believing in this project and funding this joint venture. I would also be remiss if I did not thank the leaders at Wesley Healthcare, who, when prices began to rise, do you guys hear prices have been rising lately? If you go to the grocery store, high schoolers, you may not realize it, just ask your parents. But as we've been working on this project and our allotment of the money, $525,000, we were quickly realizing that what we wanted and what we could afford were quickly becoming two different things. And so I went to our CFO and said, hey, listen, this is the project we're working on. And I had three options. And the first one was the most expensive. I was going to shell shock her and then go down from there. And all right, this is what we'll settle with. I couldn't even get to the other ones before she said, absolutely, we will fund this. And so thank them for putting in an additional $275,000 towards this. For the past 2 decades, Wesley has been working with high schools and universities in the greater Wichita area to provide exposure, training, and education to future healthcare workers. Then when COVID hit, it forced the hospital to shut its doors to visitors, and that also meant high school students who were coming in to train at our facilities and shadow to really understand what it is like to work in a hospital. And to quote Benjamin Franklin, out of adversity comes opportunity. For the past 2 years, my colleagues and I at Wesley have started various programs to reconnect high school students with healthcare professionals. Many of these were virtual opportunities. We saw some success from these programs, but there was more that needed to be done to provide students with a well-rounded education and well-rounded opportunities. They needed to get inside the hospital. Books and simulation labs are a great starting point, but being inside of a hospital, seeing it work in motion can be a game changer for a student, right? You guys want to get inside of a hospital to see what it's like? Okay. Jennifer's been emailing me about some stuff. And another one of your North High students, we're working with her as well. Anyway, I digress. But if you look at, and Dr. Utash mentioned it, and Dr. Thompson as well, a collaboration between 259 and with WSU Tech and industry to provide opportunities. We've seen this, we know that it works. And so this model is after that. And we're excited to see it in motion. What's exciting is that this is the first time in our area that this collaboration has happened for the healthcare industry. And they mentioned just how big of a need there is right now. This is going to provide students an opportunity to be inside the hospital, to rub shoulders with healthcare professionals who are in the industry. We're also going to provide these students with enough exposure opportunities so that by the time they graduate, by the time they walk across the stage and shake Dr. Thompson's hand, and then the next night Dr. Utash's hand, and then the next day they could be working at Wesley. That's the goal in all of this, to be able to provide them those opportunities that as a junior in high school, a sophomore, freshman, a senior, you say, I want to get into healthcare, we are going to provide you opportunities to do that. One of the ways is that my healthcare colleagues, they're going to work with students and your instructors to ensure that the education that the high school students are receiving will allow them to start their career and not say, that's different than what they taught me in school. We're going to bridge that gap, and I'm excited about that. I should point out, though, that this collaboration has been happening at the college level, at the WSU Tech level for some time. We're now pushing this younger to where it's happening at the high school level, and we're excited about that. It's going to be a more deliberate effort there. I firmly believe that Wesley Healthcare is not only a good landing spot for college graduates, but also can be the bridge to take a student who just graduated high school to allow them to get into college as well. So through closely working with these partners, we'll train the high school students to have the skills necessary to start their healthcare career right after graduation. Then through tuition reimbursement and scholarships that Wesley offers, this pipeline will be able to provide access to underrepresented populations who thought a career in healthcare was unattainable. So not only will you graduate high school with a lot of exposure, through tuition reimbursement, which is over $5,000 a year for our employees, part-time and full-time, And then another $5,000 on top of that. If you're in a healthcare major, you can get $10,000 a year towards your tuition, which I think can go a long way to graduating debt-free while working in school, while getting a 401k. You guys don't know about those yet. Well, you might. You don't know how valuable they are. But it's exciting to me to be able to talk about this pipeline in this way. So if we do our jobs right, this will increase student placement from the public schools CTE program and increase that. Then we're going to decrease potential opportunity for kids who are switching majors, trying to figure out what it is they want to do. And then for the hospitals in the area, that'll decrease turnover, where students spend years going to school to be trained and then get into the profession and realize, that's not what I wanted. We're going to hopefully eliminate all of that. And doing all of that's going to save people money, a lot of money, and especially the student. I also love that, as Ben mentioned, we're exposing students to more than just the healthcare careers of nurse and doctor. Absolutely need those. We do. But there's so many others that we need. And it was mentioned all the different varieties that WSU Tech offers, but med tech, surge tech, respiratory therapist, phlebotomist. There are so many, and we're going to expose them to that as well. I'm passionate about this work and the difference that this collaborative effort is going to make. I've seen it already a little bit. I can't wait to see where it goes as we continue this innovative effort and these innovative partnerships. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Scott. So as we conclude, I'd like to thank all of our partners on behalf of WSU Tech one more time. Of course, Wichita Public Schools, the City of Wichita, Wesley Healthcare. Also behind me, if you want to take a peek at the blueprints, the blueprint on the left will be a display of the Future Ready Healthcare Center here at WSU Tech South. The blueprint on the right will be that at Wesley Medical Center. Also, just so help yourself to viewing those. We have cookies and refreshments this afternoon from the Gilded Cookie. They're delicious, so help yourself to those as well. I would also like to have, before we conclude, have our students come up at this time. We're going to take some photos with our guest speakers and also have an opportunity for the press to visit with our guest speakers as well. Thank you all for coming and have a great day. Help yourself to refreshments and networking. Thank you.